Hello there netizens, and welcome back to my channel. Now, as some of you may know, bad YouTube updates are almost guaranteed take up the majority of updates pushed out to the website. However, lately there's been an update announcement that not only is causing mass protests, but could very well change the future of not just my channel, but everyone that has ever used YouTube. Not to mention, the internet itself could be impacted forever. What update am I talking about, you may ask? Well, it's the I.D verification update, and yes, it's as bad as it sounds. So for this first chapter, I will explain what this update is and how it works. Now before I begin to explain how this update works, I need to mention something that I promise will connect back to the situation in a bit. If you're a member of Generation Z like I am and grew up during the early days of the internet, you'd probably remember being told not to put your personal info, like your government ID, on the internet. Well, fast forward 20 or so years later and now it's the exact opposite, with you actually needing to put your government ID on the internet to prove your age to use sites like YouTube. You see where I'm going with this? Everything is going full circle. You know why? Credit to the Guardian for this article. Pause to read. It all started in countries like Australia and the UK when their governments passed safety regulations for children online by blocking anyone under the age of 16 from using social media by requiring an government ID to use social media. And while I understand this for stuff like inappropriate websites, when it comes to stuff like YouTube, a 16-year-old can, in most countries, can not only get a driver's license and have a car, they can have a job too. So really, all these regulations are making teenagers sound like they're literal toddlers. It's sad. But how does it work, you ask? Well, it's simple. A.I? Of course. Everyone loves A.I, especially the people at YouTube, because they are gonna see what you watch to determine whether you're a teen/kid or an adult. So, for example, you could be adult that likes to watch people play video games like Roblox, and bam, the update comes in and determines with its magical AI powers that you're a little kid, and in order to prove that you're not, you have to give them either your government ID, a safety, or a credit card. Otherwise, protections for teens will go into effect for your account, like break times, bedtime alerts, and not allowing you to watch age-restricted videos. Things get even worse if you make videos like I do, as if you don't give them your ID. Many unpleasant things happen, such as losing the ability to apply for monetizing, being able to upload more videos a day, more shorts a day, more live streams a day, appealing claims, testing different thumbnails, etc. It's horrible, and I'll explain what this means for my channel in the next chapter, but for now, let's call it what it is: censorship. Anyways, before I move on, I just want to mention that in the article I've been showing you guys, it mentions that for people living in Australia, the technology that is used to keep kids off social media is not foolproof and is, quote, not guaranteed to be effective, which is more obvious than the sky being blue. One last thing I should mention before we move on to the next chapter is that if, for example, YouTube thinks you're a kid, they will stop showing you personalized ads. While this may seem like nothing in comparison to the other restrictions placed on your account assuming YouTube thinks you're a kid, in reality, apparently personalized ads pay more for YouTubers. So that's another thing to add to the list of terrible, horrible, no good, very bad things this update does. Now with that mentioned, let's move on chapter 2, where I'll explain the consequences to my channel if this update goes through. Spoiler alert, it isn't good. As I've been mentioning in the last chapter, this update could and probably will be extremely detrimental to people who both want to watch YouTube and make videos on YouTube, because if you want something like Roblox and YouTube thinks you're a kid and you also don't give them your government ID or a credit card, your account will be severely restricted. On the other side of the coin, YouTubers will also likely see less income and will also be restricted in different ways, in which, in my opinion, are debatably just as detrimental. But how does all of this tie back to my channel, you may ask? Well, if someday I want to apply for monetizing, I can't, because I need to fork over a credit card or an ID, which, to make it absolutely clear, I am not and will never be doing like that, you hear me? Good. Anyways, another thing that will impact me if this update goes into effect is that if I hypothetically used say, a copyrighted song in a video and in the video gets claimed by the people or person who made the song, I cannot appeal it because, say it with me, I would need to fork over an I.D or credit card. Or at least I think. I'm not quite familiar about the process of appealing copyright claims and everything. So, if I got anything wrong there, feel free to correct me in the comments. Ultimately, though, I think the teen restrictions will be worst for my account, assuming YouTube thinks that I'm a little kid, rather than the channel restrictions, but that's just me. Anyways, with all of problems this update has and how it's quite literally censorship, many people are asking how to fight back, and in the next chapter, I'll explain some plans that other people have. But as for right now, it's looking real grim, boys and girls. Anyways, enough joking around, let's actually move on to the next chapter so that I can explain the ways people are protesting and my plans to protest. As I've implied to in the last chapter, the main way people are going about protesting this update is by boycotting YouTube on the 13th and avoiding any direct contact with it for as long as it possibly takes. While it could be an effective protest, some are questioning if it'll even make a difference to begin with, as this whole boycott thing is largely, from my perspective, made of a few hundred people as of the time of typing this paragraph. Ultimately, only time will tell if avoiding YouTube will actually make them reconsider the update. Oh, and also, another thing people are doing as a result of the boycott plan is to change their profile picture to be that of Clippy. Yeah, Clippy, from Windows XP. Y'all remember him? No? Okay. Anyways, it seems like many people have taken the word of Clippy to heart and are using him as a front for the boycott, which is definitely interesting to see. Anyways, I've decided that joining the boycott is the best way to go, and I will have more information about this decision and what happens to my upload schedule in the comments below, but for now, I think my best bet is to save my favorite videos now, and delete YouTube on the 13th and, hopefully, stay away for as long as possible. Thank you for understanding if you made it this far in the video. But anyways, it's now time to end this video and move on to chapter 4, my conclusion and outro. In conclusion, think about your options, and consider downloading your favorite YouTube videos if you're planning to join the boycott, or do something like reading books, watching DVDs, going outside, or simply existing. It's up to you. And with that said, we have officially reached the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like for more videos, assuming the internet even exists by the time I get back. Anyway, goodbye, and I'll see y'all netizens sometime in the future.